Hey, happy new year. It is January 2nd, and we are back here on YouTube Live, coming to you every Tuesday. We're going to be popping on here and talking to you about what is going on in Edmonton's real estate market. And I know that there's been some requests for community updates, and my schedule is kind of crazy. So committing to Thursdays every week hasn't been doable. But what I am going to commit to you is once a month, I will come on and do a community live video update on a Thursday. So I will make sure to give you like the week that I'm doing it, if you're tuning in here, and we'll make sure you know about it and we'll schedule it. So today we're going to talk about Edmonton and surrounding areas. If you are tuning in live and you are wondering why I'm talking about Sherwood Park, St. Albert, Spruce Grove, when it's not technically Edmonton, it really is Edmonton. If you're not from this area, Edmonton to Spruce Grove from the West End is 15 minutes. From the West End to Sherwood Park is 30 minutes. To St. Albert, it's 20 minutes from west. If you're looking at it, let's say you're in the north end, you're 15 minutes, 15 and 30. So it's really close. And that's how we talk about these areas in particular, because if it's more affordable, which it usually is in some of the different suburbs, it may be making more sense for your family to move out to Spruce Grove than it is to live in Edmonton proper. Now, it all depends on the type of home you're looking for. So we're going to talk about that and let you know kind of an insight. If you own a house in any of these areas and you're trying to determine, should I sell my house this year? What is my house worth? Well, how is the market going to impact things? We are going to have our regular monthly update coming at you probably next Friday. I'm going to do a whole overview of what has happened in 2023 and what the anticipated forecast is for 2024. I'll give you little snippets of my feedback and opinion, of course, in these live videos, but for the full scope, you'll want to see that on the Friday next week. So let's look at our current listings. If you haven't heard in the news, it's very true. There is not very much inventory, which means there's not very many homes for sale, which means if you're a seller looking at selling, this is a great time. Typically, January is quite quiet because it's minus 30, but I don't know if you looked at the forecast lately. It has been 0, +0, -5. It is not even the normal temperatures of January. We saw that it was actually quite busy in the Christmas weeks. So I anticipate we're going to have a pretty busy spring market. So if you're looking at selling, you need to start talking to your realtor as soon as possible to make those plans, because for us, we like to plan things out. We have a whole team that helps you get your house ready to get you the most money, not just to throw it up on the market. Right now, you can see we're under 2,000 listings for single family homes in Edmonton, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think it would go under 2,000. I thought it was going to stay around the 2,000. We have seen this number drop and drop and drop this whole year, even though the market was a little tough because the interest rates were higher than they had been. The listings were always so low. So even though the demand of buyers was low, there wasn't a high demand of buyers because they were worried about the interest rates. The listings were low. So it wasn't like high listing inventory and low demand. It was also low. So it's what kept our market kind of more balanced in a sense. But as we see, the interest rates have been dropping. I don't know if you noticed that. And the buyer increase is going up. So we're still getting interprovincial buyers coming in. And we're still seeing very few listings because people are hesitant to leave their lower interest rate market right now. Now, here's the thing. If you're looking at upsizing and you want to move out in 2-3 years because the interest rate you have is so good, which is true, you can, as long as you're being good and saving money or maybe putting more money down on your your mortgage payment, then it makes sense potentially. But keep this in mind. Your house that you want to upgrade to today is not going to be the same price as it is in 3 years. It's going to cost you more money. So sometimes it makes sense to kind of look at that now. Someone is saying they're looking for in Northwest Edmonton. Okay, I'll talk about that after my little blurb here, and then I'll back and circle. I just need to get a little bit more clarity. You're still watching what your question specifically is. So in Edmonton, we have just under 2,000 listings. In St. Albert, 155, Sherwood Park, 109, Spruce Grove, 173, and Beaumont, 75. So those inventory levels have been consistent probably the last 3 to 4 months. We've seen that number been very stable. that, in my opinion, those are still very low numbers, but we haven't seen it go up or down significantly. Now, if you take a look at pending sales, which means offers that came into play in the last 7 days. Now, keep this in mind. This is going to be really low because we looked at December 26th until today. If you don't remember what day of the week it is, that's because nobody knows what day it is between Christmas and New Year's. And a lot of people tend to not look at homes. We don't see a lot of activity. We did see 59 properties go under contract in Edmonton, 1 in St. Albert, 1 in Sherwood Park, 3 in Spruce Grove, and 2 1. So not too worrisome, in my opinion. I think this week's numbers will start to increase, and then next week, the following week, I think we're going to go back to normal. And January tends to start to incline upwards, and February, March, April. Now, eventually, at one point, it goes like this for a little bit, and then it kind of peters back out. I have a feeling that we're going to start to see a peak earlier than March. We probably will see it in February. I don't know. People are thinking it's maybe even going to happen in January. I am going to a market forecast in January, on January 18th or 17th, I believe, that the city and different people who are in the higher ups in economics are going to share. And then I'll, of course, bring that back to you and see if it makes any sense. Now, the sold in the last 7 days. So this would have to be deals that were pending and that were under contract that have removed conditions. And they would have put these under contract the week before, which was, if you remember, that was Christmas. So there was even less activity at that time. However, we did see some sales come through in Edmonton, none in St. Albert, 5 in Sherwood Park, 9 in Spruce Grove, and 3 in Beaumont. Now, when we were pulling these market stats, we were wondering if these were wrong, but this actually makes sense because of the time of year that it is. And compared to last year at this exact same time, you can see the activity was actually pretty similar in all areas. Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, Beaumont, all had very low amount of deals coming through and selling last year. So like I said earlier in this video, we are looking probably at a very busy market in Edmonton. Calgary, I don't know if you've noticed, has started to come, like they've always been higher than us, but they became even higher because typically we are 3 months behind Calgary. And as of 2022, in May, June, when our market started to tank, like it literally took a total 90-degree or whatever you want to call it change, Calgary continued to climb and continue to go. And they continued to go for a whole another year. And then they started to kind of normalize themselves in the last quarter of last year, which is just a month or two ago. But Edmonton, the whole year of 2023 was normalizing. And I really believe 2024, buyers are now understanding what they're getting themselves into. They understand their interest rates aren't going to go significantly lower to 2% or 1% anymore. And anything in the 4s is now attractive, which I believe some places have 4s for interest rates. And then you've got some low 5s. There is speculation that the interest rates will actually drop. So we will see. Because of that, people are worried that when the rates drop, there'll be more demand, which will drive prices up higher because of no inventory. So then you've got multiple offers. So people right now are trying to capitalize on the quieter market to grab that property now, even if the rate is going to be maybe 0.25, 0.5 higher than it would be in a couple months from now. They don't have to deal with multiple offers because I don't know if you remember, that multiple offer market was insane. I don't know. I didn't think that we would see the market we saw a couple years ago where the market was crazy. We had to run out to see the houses right away. All the listings were multiple offers. I didn't anticipate seeing that again. There's a lot of talk in the realtor community that they feel like that's going to happen. I'm more conservative. I'd rather set your expectations lower. And then if it happens, then great. But I do think it's going to be busy. I don't know if we want to speculate it's going to be so nuts like it was a few years ago, but 100% I believe it will be busier than it was last year. So if you are thinking about like, maybe I'll wait till spring, maybe I'll wait till this, the biggest step is your mortgage approval as a buyer. Your biggest step as a seller is talking to a realtor to find out what we're going to do, because our team was going to come out there and help you prepare. There's a lot of prep work that's involved in both buying and selling if you want to actually capitalize on whatever market it is that you're looking to figure out. So for sellers in general, your equity is going to have grown. I would say in the next 6 months, watch your equity continue to climb. And if you bought just in the last year or two, it will probably look better than what you paid. So you're probably going to have a little bit of immediate equity. Now, if you bought 5 years ago, there was a little bit of dip and net back increase. So you may be in a position where it's break even. And if you bought 5, 7, 8, 10 years ago, you may be actually probably in a better position now to move upward. So again, it all depends on the community that you're buying in. Every neighborhood is different. And we see the demand in the new builds is they're still throwing out deals because they're still not selling everything. And in the resale market, there's definitely lots of options that you can see, lots of options in even 5-year, 10-year-old houses. Honestly, 10-year-old houses is not that bad. 2013 is the year that would be built. 10 years, you might have to get a new hot water tank, which is maybe going to be $1,000. But your furnace, if it was maintained properly, your shingles, it should all still be okay. So even within 10 years, and you're still getting decent finishings. Like, of course, every home has different conditions, but take a look at the market when it comes to the resale compared to new build and make sure you look at both. Don't just look at one side or the other. Be happy to send you more information. Thanks so much for looking. We're going to talk to you again next Tuesday, and I'll let you know when we're going to do that community update. Have a happy new year, everyone.